Welcome back to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. We are here with William Waithaka. He is the MCA for Mugumo Ini Ward, that is in Murang'a County. He's here to talk to us about matters to do with Central Kenya. Which way Central Kenya is what we're asking this morning. Everyone has their eyes on Central Kenya. Bwana Mheshimiwa incoming.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're confident you're winning this seat.
Yeah, I am. It's Jubilee, the red. The red army. Yes.
Do you think Jubilee will perform well in Central Kenya?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We have what it takes to get the seats, the right teams, the right candidatures, because it's not just mine. Across board, actually, from the county level all the way to the MCA level. So we have good candidates.
You're confident that's what will happen?
Yes.
There's been a claim or an idea that there is some voter apathy in as far as the elections are concerned. And we looked at the turnouts for the nominations, and they were not really good. Is that a reflection of the reality on the ground, or is it just because the nominations were happening when people were at work?
Two good questions. Number one, first of all, apathy was there, yes. I would say because we witnessed that through the MVR1 and MVR2, that is the mass voter registration 1 and 2. The turnout was quite low, and like expected. And I think the reason was, number one, then the polarization of the grassroots politics was so much intense. And actually hell-bent on more or less the negative aspect of things. But things are changing, and things are changed. And actually this is where I think more or less the proponents working in Mount Kenya then, which are the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, they were very confident. But right now, I think they should watch the space and just realize that things are going to change. Number two, if we look at the turnout in the nominations, they conducted mass universal suffrage, unlike us on the Jubilee side, which also conducted a very credible nominations. The outcome was so, especially for Kenya Kwanza, they should be scary and wary, because number one, the turnout would tell a very strong tale that people didn't actually participate, despite it being a working day. We've seen previously people coming out to vote even in a nomination when it's either on a working day or not. So that was not such a big factor, but I think more or less, if you look at now I'm going to invert the triangle again. If you look at from the top to bottom of the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, the leadership in that outfit is more or less being associated with very negative things, and they have not managed to come out and explain some of these things. So despite them being allegations, they should come out clean and say, no, look, we've been talked about in this manner. We are not this, we are this. So I think people would see, because even at the grassroots, more of the guys who are associating with UDA, to be specific, or people who their records are known. Their records are known on the ground and on the grassroots, and that explains why even the turnout was low, because people don't want to be associated with such. Wanjiku is clever. Wanjiku is clever.
You think so?
I believe so.
There is a suggestion or a perception that there are some people who are going to vote against your presidential candidate Raila Odinga because they're voting against President Uhuru and his policies and the perceived ills that have happened over the last 10 years. What do you say to that?
That is a notion that has been, it's more a notion and even propaganda. And I quite give it up to Kenya Kwanza. They've sustained their campaigns for the last 9 years actually through propaganda, propagating a lot of even negative ills against even President Uhuru Kenyatta, who's his performance track record is known even in the region, Mount Kenya region. So I wouldn't I wouldn't say that that the polarization was there, yes, but and this is something that I think UDA should realize. Tables have turned. You know, it is now our turn to talk to our people. You know, they have seen that before. Mheshimiwa Ruto knows that, Dr. Ruto knows that he was the first person to bring him to Mount Kenya, and for him to be even accepted, I'm going to use that term, accepted in the region, was through President Uhuru Kenyatta's effort. You know, so Mount Kenya still has their son, and they still believe in him, they still have confidence in him, and you know, we've seen Uhuru just gives, just says something, and that would, you know, alter everything that is on the ground. So we expect that, and we actually want him to come to the grassroots. We want him to come to the ground because we are the champions. We are championing what he has already done, what he has already achieved. And for him, we just need him to just come and talk to his people, and that is it. Yeah, that is it. And once that is done, I think whatever narrative that Kenya Kwanza is trying to peddle, that it is going to be anti.
So you expect the president will get out to the campaign trail?
We more or less don't want him to come campaign for us. We want him to come and commission the projects that he's done, because we are the champions we are actually the champions of the political aspect of things. So we don't need to him to come and campaign for us.
Yeah.
Let him come and commission whatever, because he has performed. He has, you know, he has done stuff, and he needs to come and own up. You know, this is we are already telling people, no, this is done by, this is an achievement by President Uhuru Kenyatta. So come, let the people associate that with you, so that people cannot see an opportunity to come and try and peddle. And you know, some people are even coming and telling me, "Ndio najenga hii barabara," and we already know who's already doing that. So it's more or less, we just need him here, you need him there to come, own up, you know, and that's it. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Do you think that his presence could maybe even set things off in the wrong way?
Not really. Actually, I think it would more or less, it would, I think, swing to just like the proclamation by Right Honorable Odinga. It would more or less atakuja kumaliza kazi mapema.
Yeah, we have seen people increasingly get bolder with, you know, taking the fight to the doorstep of the president.
Yeah.
Including the deputy president himself,
Yeah.
including Rigathi Gachagua, who is now the deputy president nominee,
Yes.
including, you know, other members of Kenya Kwanza.
Yeah.
On the ground, just give me an overview.
Yeah.
How is it taken?
First of all, you know, the people understand, and you see, when they come for such occurrences, because I'll call them occurrences, because that is not the actual situation on the ground. It's just more or less occurrences, because they are premeditated. They actually plan before. They mobilize. You know, they even ferry people to bring to those rallies. Number one. These people try to do that to more or less hoodwink the common man, the common Wanjiko. And if we look at the turnout in those rallies, are people who are more or less youthful. And they are being taken advantage of, because some of them are idle, some of them don't have jobs or something. So they are more or less taken advantage of. But if you go to the mature people, actually more or less from the ages between 34 upwards, those people are sensible. Some of them are not going to waste time to just go to rallies and just listen to hoodwinks, because more or less they are like that. So the people who are more or less being targeted for that, I'm going to call it radicalization or whatever, it's more or less the young people. And they're also going to change. And number two, that bracket of voters, it doesn't even, most of them don't have votes.
Yeah.
So they'll come.
What in your crystal ball,
Yeah.
political crystal ball, are you foreseeing on August 9th?
I first of all see a tremendous win for my presidential candidate, that is Right Honorable Raila Odinga. I'm very confident he's going to take the seat. He's accepted across board, across the country. He's campaigning on a nationalistic approach of you know, which is actually good. So I see that. Number two, I see him coming up with something that is going to even surprise his nemesis, because more or less the Kenya Kwanza people are trying to peddle right honorable as a nemesis, and which is not. He's going to extend a hand. I can see that, because they demonstrated that with President Uhuru Kenyatta, because for them it is more or less bringing one Kenya together. Mm. So I foresee whereby even the other losers, they are going to be accommodated. They are going to be accommodated in whatever manner they are going. And if they agree, I would actually request them or suggest to them that they should start considering, how they are going to work with the government and President Raila Odinga, because that is the outcome. That is the outcome.
You're not leaving any room for error, are you?
If you, I think it was President George Washington who said, you'd rather take 9 hours sharpening an axe and spending 1 hour felling the tree. So, like I said, and very confidently, was that the candidatures in Jubilee and Azimio have spent a lot of time taking their time to plan well, strategize, so all that is in place. So we are going to leave a very room for exemptions. That's 0.something%.
A very small room, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting times up ahead, eh?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you think will be the turning points in the next 3 months election-wise? Actually, not even 3 months. We have 82 days as of today. It is less than 3 months.
Yeah. First of all, I would urge both sides of the divide to campaign on a peaceful platform. Let us. Kenya is greater than all of us. We are seeking positions of leadership. We should demonstrate to the voters that we are trying to woo. We should demonstrate that we have that vision of our country, which is bigger than any individual. So I would urge and request that we, first of all, based on that. Number two, I see a lot of shifts taking sides, especially once the Azimio campaigns now roll out in all areas of the country. I think there's going to be a lot of shifts. And I think Azimio is very accommodative. There's space. So, so I see a lot of shifts, yes. A lot of people are going to shift and come to Azimio side. Lastly, I think there is going to be acceptance. At the end of it, I think Kenya Kwanza is going to realize that, all along, it has been in vain for them.
Yeah. Interesting that you're going to, you only see things going your way. No possibility eventually of thinking maybe. What if you woke up? Because some of the things that are being said is, William Ruto is very popular.
Yes.
There's a good chance he might be president. If he is president, if Raila is president, there's a good chance he might not have MPs. Have you had those arguments?
Those arguments are there. Those arguments are there. But like I said, after the vice president's deputy matter, that was a game-changing moment. That was a game-changing moment, and actually, right now it is all now emerging. Things that are going to emerge from now here henceforth are basically things that have not been said before. So I think the conversation was previously or in the past, but right now I think we should be looking at from this point onwards. So that is why I'm very confident, because such proclamation, and you see, it gives Azimio such a head start. So, and I want to believe there are many more coming.
Yeah.
There are many more coming. So,
let's talk about Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about him, and what is happening with him?
As a young leader, I've looked upon him to some incidences. There are moments I would say that he has shown leadership, but at this moment, I think it was more or less disappointing. He demonstrated something I'm going to call political greed. If it is not me, it is not going to be him. That was unfortunate, because I think his relevance is still there in the country. He's quite there. His moment was eventually to come. His moment was eventually to come, but I think he's thrown that to the winds, and without disregard, which is unfortunate. Number two, I also want to think that he has a moment to redeem himself. He can still pull something that is out of his bag of tricks. So he can still pull something, but I would urge him and request him to just first of all consider that the country is bigger than an individual. So as whatever decisions he's making, he should not try to do something to more or less hurt the country, because that is more or less you would emerge into that. He should consider, he should look at which side to work with, whether he works with Dr. Ruto, which is fine, whether he works with the Right Honorable Ringa, which is fine. He should first of all think. Yeah.
So what's the strategy now, between now and the next, the time we declare that, no more campaigns? What is the strategy for your party to remain vibrant in Mount Kenya? What are you guys going to be doing?
I'll talk about myself first, but I think I'm also part and parcel of the party. So I'm not going to say that on behalf of the party, but I think I'm also going to, just give an overview on as part of the party. First of all, the strategy is first of all to make sure that we deliver all the candidatures, at least 98% of the candidatures in Mount Kenya region. And once we do that, we definitely, Jubilee has a very actually strong manifesto. The Jubilee manifesto is very strong, and it was actually also hedged and also plugged into the national vision. Number two, there is also the Azimio manifesto, which the Jubilee manifesto is going to plug in also. So we're also going to make sure that these candidatures, once in place, will make sure that acceleration of growth for our country from the grassroots level all the way to the county level is achieved. A
recent study showed that we have, or let me just say statistics from the IEBC indicate that we have 37 aspirants, presidential aspirants who have been cleared to vie for their party tickets or to vie as independents. 37 people, Waidak. What do you think?
That's a very good indicator for as a country. It shows that our democracy is also vibrantly growing, which is good, It's actually good, and I think that is why, to go back to something I said, these are the benefits of what President Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to do, and the brevity he's taking by making sure that he's tackling the political pillar of the Vision 2030 now. I actually think President Kibaki, the late, tried to avoid that because, there are repercussions. Repercussions. And President Uhuru Kenyatta's brevity is very, it's something that is going to go in record. So the candidates you are seeing right now, that's good. That's good for our country. That's good. We should encourage, and actually I should also encourage young guys like me. Next time, let's see a guy like me go for the presidency, as long as they have the vision and
let's see them try.
Absolutely.
I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
Who knows what could happen?
Absolutely.
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 What would be your final comments to those who are watching you from Mugumoini Ward as well as the Greater Murang'a County?
Okay. First of all is to thank. First of all, I would want to thank my voters in Mugumoini Ward. I thank you so much for taking that time to participate in the nominations that were done by my party, Jubilee. You saw confidence in me. You had confidence in me. You voted me in as your candidate. I am not going to let you down. I am going to deliver. My 6-point agenda for Mugumoini Ward is captured in 6 pillars. Number 1 is oversight and policy development, because I believe we can streamline a lot using oversight and policy development, which is more or less the major role of an MCA. And through that, we can influence a lot of changes at the county level. We can actually even assist the county to tap into resources that it is not doing so right now, and to make sure that those resources turn out to benefit Wanjiko. Number 2, I would also want to focus on agriculture. Coming from such an area where agriculture is, I think, a backbone of the small-scale economics, I would want to focus on that. And I know with food, these other things, it actually opens up to now other things. Thirdly is education. I think that is where we also need to be focused on as Mugumoini. Number 3 is sports and art. I come from a ward that has produced an athlete who's he's actually quite known. He's called Patrick Mbirori. He used to run even in Olympics. Yeah, so I come from a ward whereby actually people talk about Gatanga and say the cash crop of Gatanga is music, but I think somehow I want to amend that. It is the cash crop of Gatanga from Mugumoini ward is actually Benga Kikuyu music. Most of the popular Kikuyu artists come from my ward. So I've combined or fused sport and art to make sport. That is where, that is where now our youth, that is what is going to make sure that we get our youth into activities that are going to be beneficial. If you look world over, athletes, musicians, artists, those people are quite paid, actually are paid even better than when Waishimi was. So we tap into that. Thirdly is to tap into technology. And fourthly or lastly is to now tackle things on infrastructure, roads, schools, sports facility and stuff. So what have you? Yeah. So basically, I think I would request them in Kikuyu, Tuwake Mugumoini Hamwe. That means let's build Mugumoini together. That's my clarion call. Yeah. And I'm not going to let you down. I'm not going to let you down.
Well, thank you at least for sharing your thoughts on Mugumoini Ward and for even sharing your thoughts on matters to do with Central Kenya. We wait to see. Many people are curious to find out, the ballot, what will happen to Central Kenya voters. They're a huge bloc. They also have quite good entrepreneurial and economic tendencies.
Absolutely.
Our eye is definitely there.
And
of course, we wish you good and peaceful campaigns as well.
Thank you so much.
And that you may be able to, achieve your fullest potential.
Thank you so much.
Please come back. When you're an MCA.
I am doing that.
Patakiti usi kate kona.
Si toroki. Actually, this is red like me. So hapa ni nyumbani.
Come back. Let's talk. Let's talk about these things and see. I have to ask you though, even as you go. Do you think the mushrooming of many presidential candidates, is a plus or a minus for us?
I would say it cuts on both sides. It's a plus and it's a minus because it is also an indicator of rebellion, but it is also an indicator of growth in our democracy because it can show confidence in our people that we can have presidential candidates from all sides.
From all sides. Yeah.
And maybe if I can lastly just add to one of that, President Kenyatta did a benchmark to ANC party in South Africa. He also, I think, he is a party leader then, chairman, vice rather, and Honorable Tuji. They visited even the CCM party in China. So I think he's a good president for us.
Tujaribu tuone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
William Wadhaka Wangoi. He is MCA Jubilee nominee for Mugumoini Ward out there in Murang'a County. You said the word is what? Kanyu
Keruchiri. You was.
Hivyo vile umesema.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just say Kongoi and Saisere, which is by. That's it for 59 minutes. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning and stay tuned for Leah coming up with the lawsuit.
Thank you.